You mentioned something in there as well. When it comes to being clutch, you kind of alluded to it. It almost like for like somebody like a Derek Jeter, um, that it almost becomes natural to them. It's just kind of they don't look at a situation and say to themselves, "I have to be clutch," or look at a situation and say, "This is a big moment. I need to come through." They're confident enough. Players like him, and I can point out players from every sport. They're confident enough to know that they can come through and that they're living so much in the present that they don't look at it as being clutch. They just look at it as another moment where they have to do their job, albeit maybe a little bit of a different type job, right? And a little bit of tweaking when it comes to that job. But they understand that, hey, this is what I've got to do, and this is it. They don't let that moment really get to them mentally, and they don't put too much pressure on themselves.
Yeah, I have to imagine, like, when you think of the Michael Phelps, the Tiger Woods, the Michael
Yeah.
Jordans, Derek Jeters, like, when you think of those athletes, so many of them have talked about either visualizing their success before it happens. Kobe Bryant is another great example too, but
Yeah.
I think what happens is when you can get really deep into that visualization, when you can really, put yourself in those situations again, you're desensitizing yourself to how big that moment is, and so when you're actually under the lights, when it's actually time to make the buzzer beater shot or the putt to win everything, that it doesn't you don't get the butterflies, you don't get the increase in tightness in your hand and the traps that raise because you've already put yourself in that position. I mean, not just thought about it, like really visualized and put yourself in that situation. And now it's no big deal. I've experienced this 1,000 times before. Succeeded in my head 1,000 times before. And now I'm doing what I've already thought about doing.
Yeah.
And I think that becomes so important. I don't think we give our body enough credit for the response that happens and how much it can affect our sport. For instance, when you get that adrenaline that starts to pump through your system, the flexors in your body will naturally tighten. So
Yeah.
things that are flexors are your fingers and your grip. So that's why your grip will start to tighten even just a little bit. You'll actually like your flexors can be your pec is a flexor that'll start to round your chest forward a little bit. Um, and now you get these situations where this is not a confident person. First of all, I'm not standing as tall as I can, but anything you have to grip a baseball, a pitcher holding a baseball hitter holding a bat, a golfer holding a club, that little bit of tension matters so much. So now we have this huge moment. It's I haven't worked on my visualization. I'm not as present. My adrenaline is pumping more than I need it to. And now I'm getting a physiological response that is affecting my movement patterns. That is not going to set me up for success no matter how hard I try in this moment.